Hey guys, this is Nia Adenusi. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is finally out and boy are people excited for it. It is among the most anticipated movies of the year. As for me, I was very much excited. It's a movie based on my favorite Mario games of all time. The first Super Mario Galaxy is the first Mario game I ever played, and I was ecstatic to hear that a sequel to the game exists. I got Super Mario Galaxy 2 for Christmas in 2013. I still own both games today, although they are different copies than what I had before. Now the Super Mario Galaxy movie, while I was excited for it, I also had my doubts. The first movie, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, was praised by critics for its animation, score, and faithfulness to the games, but criticized for its story, lack of character development, and fan service. The movie currently holds a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 46% on Metacritic. Conversely, audiences loved the movie, giving it praise in the same areas where critics gave it credit. Because of the middling critical reception of the first movie, I was a bit doubtful that the sequel, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, would fix most of those gripes critics had. A common complaint about the first movie is also its runtime, which clocks in at 92 minutes. The Mario Galaxy movie has a slightly longer runtime at 98 minutes, so already it was fixing the weak spots of the first movie. Or so I thought. Critics have released their reviews on the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Unsurprisingly, critics are slamming it just like with the first movie, but surprisingly, it holds even lower critical scores than the first movie, with a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 37% on Metacritic, which so far makes it the lowest rated Illumination movie on the latter site. So, what happened? Well, to answer that question, critics are not liking Mario's latest theatrical outing because it actually doubles down on the flaws of the first movie. They claim that just like the first, Easter eggs and references to the games are all thrown everywhere, leaving no room for genuine storytelling. And this is something that was actually hinted by the marketing. All of the trailers and TV spots failed to give a clear understanding of what the movie is about, and just recently, they revealed a poster for Fox McCloud from Nintendo's Star Fox franchise, confirming that he would appear in the movie. The story in question is said to be an incohesive mess. And for a movie called the Super Mario Galaxy movie, they actually say that the galaxy element is underutilized. Even Rosalina, a major character in the first game, has less to do in the movie. When watching the trailers and TV spots, I actually had the feeling that maybe the galaxy part is not as prominent like the title suggests. When the first Mario movie's reviews came in, I was shocked and furious about its reception. The movie was building itself up to be Illumination's best work yet, or at least their best work since Despicable Me 2. The reviews weren't enough to deter me from actually seeing the Mario movie in theaters, and I was so blinded by the movie's strengths that I didn't notice any of its weaknesses. The movie does make up for its problems with the animation, thrilling action sequences, and faithfulness to the games, and I respect it for that. Nowadays, I don't really mind the score since I can understand the critics' complaints. I actually do have a few problems with the movie too, particularly with its characterization and pacing. But what do I think of the Super Mario Galaxy movie receiving worse treatment from critics than its predecessor? Honestly, like the saying goes, I'm not mad this time around. I'm just disappointed. The movie seemed like it was going to be an improvement over the first, but to hear it's actually worse is quite shocking. I was expecting it to at least be a slight improvement. If you don't know, I am not a big fan of Illumination. I do like their movies like most of the Despicable Me movies, The Secret Life of Pets, and Sing. But what I don't like about Illumination is their tactic of making low-risk movies with thin stories and limited character development. They have carried this for all of their movies since Minions in 2015, and this also includes the Super Mario Bros. Movie. No matter how they turn out, Illumination earns back hundreds of millions of dollars, and that fuels them to make more movies like this. With how good the Mario movie turned out and the promising trailers of Migration, it seemed like they were finally on the road to a redemption arc. Unfortunately, I was wrong. Migration was okay, but it ended up being nothing special of a feature due to its simple story and minimal character growth. But Despicable Me 4, that was just a mediocre mess. It's because of my loss of optimism for Illumination why I'm not surprised that the Super Mario Galaxy movie didn't improve upon the original. They're a studio that doesn't care about high quality storytelling. Even when they adapt Super Mario Galaxy into a big screen feature, they completely disregard the game's deep and impactful storytelling, which is one of the game's most memorable aspects. Super Mario Galaxy 2 lacked the strong storytelling of the first game but equally came out as a hit nonetheless. But just because Mario can get away with no story in the games doesn't mean he can't in a big budgeted theatrical feature. At least have good character development and steady pacing to make up for it. And this is why the Mario Galaxy movie has the reception that we are seeing right now. It proves that Illumination acted completely ignorant towards critics' complaints about the first movie and instead doubled down on those flaws to create an even more problematic Mario movie. Do you see why Illumination frustrates me? Why I don't support them anymore? And we know that they're not going to stop this method of making low-risk, highly successful movies anytime soon. They recently released a trailer for Minions and Monsters, which in my opinion looks wholly uninteresting. Because if it ain't broke, why fix it? Sonic the Hedgehog has been seeing better critical success with its film series, even if it's not as successful at the box office. In fact, Sonic 3 received the highest Rotten Tomatoes score for a video game movie at 86%. That movie simultaneously delivered references to the games while telling a darker, intriguing story that actually has emotion and properly follows its source material. It still stands as my favorite video game movie and I'm excited to see what they have in store with Sonic 4. Back to Mario, while the rotten score of the first movie didn't bring down my excitement one bit, I honestly can't say the same about the sequel. It did slightly bring down my anticipation for this movie, though I'm still looking forward to it regardless. I don't mean to slam the movie, this is more of a rant against Illumination's movie making method, and I don't mean any hard feelings towards the people at Illumination, including Chris Meledandri. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that Illumination plays safe mainly because of how Meledandri runs the studio. I was right to be cautiously optimistic. I didn't want to immediately assume this would be better than the first movie because knowing Illumination, they don't try. They don't try to write a good story, not even once. And I know that Barbie movie they're making in partnership with Mattel, it's gonna be exactly like the Mario movies. I'm beginning to question why Nintendo partnered with Illumination in the first place. They may be more directly connected to the Universal brand than DreamWorks, but while DreamWorks is inconsistent, they would have been a better partner for Nintendo because they still deliver very good movies like The Bad Guys, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and The Wild Robot. And they won't stop there because they released a trailer for their next movie, Forgotten Island, and it looks like another gem from the studio. They would also be a better collaborator for Mattel. If you think I'm going too hard on Illumination, I'm not wishing for them to be shut down. I just want them to improve their output. I did criticize Warner Bros. Pictures Animation for how badly their movies declined in quality after 2019, but with all the new movies they announced to be in development, I actually want to be a bit more optimistic. They may be on the road to redemption and Illumination should follow suit. Overall, it's not going to stop me from seeing the movie, but this is disappointing to hear. It reassured me that Illumination wants to stick to playing safe as long as they're active, which is depressing. I have a feeling that if they make a third Mario movie, they're not going to change anything. If Illumination wants to keep playing it safe, that's on them. I'll just continue directing my support to more reputable studios like Disney Animation, Pixar, DreamWorks, and Sony Animation. That's the end of the video. What are your thoughts on this news? Share them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.